You know what the crazy thing is? I'm not going to know if the framing is good until after this video is done. Ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs, it's July 4th. I am out fishing at sunset in my American flag Crocs with my American flag giblet, with my American flag shorts. If you can see these, the kids have found me. I don't know how they found me. And we're going to talk about what's going on in the news because it's a flipping meltdown. It's a monumental meltdown. Ruhu Nabadu once said, when you fight corruption, corruption fights back. And when corruption thinks it's losing, it goes into full panic mode. We have entered the realm of corruption fighting back, going into full panic mode. I'm fishing with a Rapala, whatever this thing is. I've never caught a fish off one of these things in my life. I don't expect to catch a fish. I just want to fish. The news of the day. Holy crab apples. A video of Donald Trump golfing with his kid. And the video recording was apparently done without the knowledge of Donald Trump. It looks like it was secretly recorded by the golf course staff, capturing Donald Trump in what can only be described as a candid moment because he didn't know that he was being recorded. And he's having a relatively civil and quite engaging discussion with golf course staff, tipping them rather friendly, I should add, if you can determine what the bills are. It's at least 120 and another bill, tipping them in a rather generous manner and engaging in very human to human intercourse. That sounds gross. Interaction with golf course staff.
How did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh, amazing.
He kicked that old broken down pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the race.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
It's just so fucking bad. So,
I just can't imagine.
but can you imagine that guy with dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man.
Right.
A very tough guy, and they see him. They can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just keep knocking him out, right?
That's it.
The video gets published to Twitter, and based on the response by the corrupt left, who seems to think this is the most glorious, damning video they've ever seen since I don't know when, you would think that they caught a video of Donald Trump doing the things that they say Donald Trump has done. We're going to get to that in a second. They post this video calling Trump a POS, saying this man should come nowhere near the White House because in this 45-second video, he is respectful, engaging, human, and above all else, politically astute. When you fight corruption, corruption fights back, and I'll add to that, corruption is in full meltdown overload. They don't know what to do with the fact that Trump is winning, the fact that people want Trump to win, and the fact that all of their chicanery has thus far yielded nothing but the exact opposite of what they wanted it to yield. Donald Trump is leading in every poll pretty much across the board as far as I can tell. And they're getting desperate in terms of what they're trying to malign him with, what they're trying to convict him of, what they're trying to bankrupt him for. And it doesn't end. This video that you think would be the most flattering thing ever, the video is actually so flattering that I wouldn't be surprised if someone on Trump's team decided to publish it, leak it, knowing how good it made him look, thinking that someone would run with it and put it on blast, thinking he made him look bad. They run with that. That was one of the news stories of the day. The other news story of the day is this flipping alleged lawsuit from one Katie Johnson that alleges that Donald Trump did the most sinister, heinous things to her within the orbit of Jeffrey Epstein. And you get the media running with this story. You get the blue checkmark idiots running with this story. You get the people who are so severely affected with TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, that they don't stop for 1 second and ask themselves critically, if this story was published in the past, why did no credible outlet, and I say credible in quotes, why did no credible outlet run with it, and why isn't it bigger news? Probably because it's a load of steaming dog crap. But the left right now, in their meltdown mode of Trump winning despite all their efforts to the contrary, Kamala Harris the most plausible candidate to fill in for the senile, demented shoes of Joe Biden, who has now tanked pretty much in every poll subsequent to that debate. They are now saying, why isn't anyone running with this story? Because it's bunk. Hold on one second. Let me just get this here. My lure's at the tip of the rod here. The story, for those of you who may not have heard, and I'll read some of the screen grabs from this. This is from the Daily Mail. What year is it from? 2016. Exclusive: troubled woman with a history of drug use who claimed that she was assaulted by Donald Trump at Jeffrey Epstein's sex party at age 13 made it all up. What was her name? Go down to the Intelligencer, which is another article. I don't know when this was from. It was the end of an incredibly strange case that featured an anonymous plaintiff who had refused almost all requests for interviews. Two anonymous corroborating witnesses whom no one in the press had spoken to, and a couple of seriously shady characters with an anti-Trump agenda and a penchant for drama who had aggressively shopped the story around to media outlets for over a year. Those shady characters: a former reality TV producer who calls himself Al Taylor, and a never-Trump conservative activist named Stephen Bear, had been mostly unsuccessful in getting the media to bite. There are a few good reasons for that, which the Huffington Post's Ryan Grimm succinctly summed up. Taylor and Bear have been really sketchy about the whole thing, and since the accuser is anonymous, journalists can't do anything to verify her claims. The only journalist who has actually interviewed Johnson, Emily Sugarman at Revelist, came away confused and even doubting whether Johnson really exists. The Vox wrote an article called "The Lawsuit Accusing Trump of Raping 13-Year-Old Girl Explained." The anonymous plaintiff dropped her lawsuit against Trump, the circumstances around which have been bizarre. And that was from November 3rd, 2016. Who was running for president in November 2016? I can tell you who. Hillary Clinton. Do I think that Hillary Clinton machine, who had fabricated the Russia hoax, who basically colluded with the Obama administration to spy on Donald Trump after he ascended it to the White House, you think they had anything to do with that? The same Hillary Clinton who financed the opposition research of the Steele dossier, which involved stories of Trump urinating on hookers and beds in a Moscow hotel. You think she might have had anything to do with that story? I don't know. I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying timing works out. And past this prologue, the same people who financed bullcrap opposition research, which they then leaked to the FBI, which then leaked it to Yahoo News, so that Yahoo News could publish it, so that the FBI could then rely on that publication to go get a secret spy warrant, FISA warrant, against Carter Page to spy on Donald Trump's campaign. Would they ever engage in something like that with this story, Katie Johnson, who accuses Trump of the most heinous things? And you get idiot people on Twitter running with it as though it's the newest breaking story, because the media didn't bite the first time 8 years ago, and they haven't bit since. But you've got a panic mode, desperation, corrupt regime that is now seeing the presidency and possibly the House and the Senate slipping away from their power. As Joe Biden is so demented, you've got Democrat governors meeting to discuss how they have to replace him on the ticket. What have they resorted to? Lies. Lies, propaganda, disinformation, the media, to run and propagate those lies. What else was going on in the media? You got John Cleese. I never really liked him. Didn't like Monty Python. I didn't really watch it as a kid. I saw him in Rat Race. I did not think he was the highlight of Rat Race. John Cleese retweeting images, AI-generated bogus images of Donald Trump, allegedly with Jeffrey Epstein and underage girls. They are in full panic, full propaganda mode. And it's fitting that it should reach something of a orgiastic climax on this 4th of July, the day where we celebrate the 4th of July being the independence of America. But the independence is a conceptual thing. It was the day, the moment that America fought for and gained its independence from a corrupt, tyrannical monarchy. It was the moment when they said we have God-given rights and no corrupt government is going to deny those from us or take those from us. And on this July 4th, because it's July 4th today, as I fish into the sunset. Not going to catch a damn thing, but I don't care. I am not fishing to catch. I'm fishing to fish. They are running the same tired, recycled strategies that they've done for year after year after year. And no one's biting because we're all smart enough to figure out this crap. Trump, love him or hate him, you'd better frickin' love him. Love him or hate him, he represents the freedom that is being stolen from you in real time. Love him or hate him, he represents the victim of the corruption of a politicized, propagandized, fascist regime where media works hand in hand, colludes with government to run, recycle, and propagate bullshit propaganda lies. John Cleese, shame on you. You should know better. Retweeting a AI-generated image of Donald Trump with Epstein and a young girl. Everyone running this story, Katie Johnson, the story has been run and rerun again. It was a Clinton machine fabrication, a lie. Everybody knew it 8 years ago, but the problem is, it's a new generation of people right now. Some of the people voting now were 8 years old or 10 years old back in 2016. They don't know that this story is a lie. They see it for the first time. They retweet it because they are useful idiots. Propaganda, lies, and disinformation. That is all that the failing regime, the crumbling regime, can rely on as it fights the inevitable. It's going to collapse. They're going to collapse. They're going to be taken over by truth, justice. But as I say this, I see a kid coming to me in a kayak. Hold on. You got to look at this. I see a kid coming to me in a kayak. I don't want to lose my phone. Right there. And that is what we're doing right now. Fighting against this regime of corruption, this regime of panic, and this regime of lies and disinformation that relies on the ignorance of the voter, relies on low information voters to do their bidding for them. I said earlier in a stream that the greatest thing the government can do is not make you the victim of their abuse. It can make you collaborators in the perpetration of their abuse. And that is exactly what we're seeing right now, because this regime is so damn desperate. As they watch Joe Biden fall and as they scramble to pick up the pieces and find who could be the next best replacement to that corrupt hack. Who's it going to be? Kamala Harris, the corrupt idiot. Gretchen Whitmer, the corrupt idiot who basically staged her own kidnapping. Gavin Newsom. As they struggle to find who will be the next person to replace them and fill in for their void of corruption, they try every cheap lying tactic to dupe the citizenry into doing their bidding for them. Don't be idiots. Fight for your independence. It is no more than one generation from total extinction. And as things seem to be going, it might be no more than 1 or 2 years from total extinction. 4th of July, Independence Day, enjoy it. God bless, Godspeed. Don't fall for the stupidity and don't become a useful idiot and an involuntary collaborator in the corruption. Viva Frey. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure that when I put up a video, you drop a comment, hit that little like thing and share it with someone who you think would like it or someone who you know would not like it. But more important than anything, exercise, eat healthy, sunlight, get out there, talk to people in real life, fish, touch grass. And if you can't touch grass, touch water. And peace out, peeps.
Wait, what?
Booyah! Let's go fishing.
Still on.
I know.